Hi guys, over the past 2 months I was working on this spread and I finally got it absolutely right and it's really functioning unbelievably well. This is for the people who basically want to find out if there is a possibility of reunion and if they should actually go with their exes, what is going on in their heads, if this is a wise idea, etc., etc., etc. It kind of like will describe sort of the past situation that brought you to this basically question what is currently going on in their heads, in your heads, and also near and far future. So let me introduce you the cards that actually I picked. This took a while to find the right combination. So I'm calling the spread Cat Tarot Nose Spread. So you can only see it here. So the first actually card that I have is the Magician. The reason that I picked this one first, one is a number one in numerology. And when you have number one, this is basically beginning. Also, the Magician is a card of sort of starting on a new journey, just to see if you have all the tools available to go in this new relationship and if that can create this chemistry. And also because it's a number one, what are the thoughts on a new beginning? The second card I took here is a Temperance reversed. And it's purposely reversed because here it means merging two opposites, but here it means two opposites or two different kind of entities are not merged, which is basically what is bringing you to this question because you really want to know why things didn't work out and what went wrong. Maybe that was not communicated to you, maybe you didn't communicate it, maybe you didn't even recognize it in you, but this is what went wrong. So this is a significator for the ladies. This is, and I took Queen of Wands. Please don't go into this horoscope signs. Frankly, I'm so tired of reading horoscope signs in cards because like every card is like archetype, and this is like the sexy archetype that is like charging, and she wants her man, she wants her mate. This doesn't have to be necessarily a woman. So either you're man or female, this is basically who you are, and the other person is going to represent your partner. For the guys, it's going to be the awkward kind of things around, but also keep in mind, because I'm getting here energies not only for all of you who are actually listening to this, the subscribers that I'm connecting, but I'm also getting the energy of that one more person and all these exes that you're bringing to the table. So I need to kind of like find it more generic, so this can be switched. So you have to figure out if this person is more this or this, which one is you. Then we have Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a communication cards and things being up in the air. Basically, simply I want to see over this timeline how the communication went and if that was the problem. Then we have another significator of that person. So I said like that they're interchangeable. You have to find out if that is like the guy you're inquiring about or if this is you. And again, I took a King of Wands, again, charisma, passion, because that's what we get attracted to. And obviously, if we are considering reunion or we are still thinking about somebody in the past, this is what is holding us basically captive in our thoughts. Then we have a card of Judgment. So this is card very difficult for many of people to understand. So we kind of like see the angel coming trumpeting, basically freedom, and everybody's kind of raising from the dead. So obviously this is talking about if our life was well lived, if we learned the lessons and what lessons we had to learn. So in this particular case is how that other party sees the past and sees basically how they contributed to the things that happened and what was going on in their head, right? Sometimes you get really surprised when you kind of feel you are the wrong one, and then you find out from them they feel they're the wrong one. And lastly, I took a Four of Wands, which kind of can be reunion, can be celebration, but keep in mind that many people are talking about this card as a marriage, which also can be, but in this particular case, significator here is what are the thoughts of reunion? Is reunion in the store, and even if it's wise? So basically, we have this 7 cards, which is kind of like really spiritual number. Also, if you look the numbers, like 1 plus 14 is like 15, and 8, 23, 53, and 4, 57, it is 12, it's 3, it's like something with this yellow, 3 is connected to this yellow, and as you see, I kind of picked the yellows because this is kind of uplifting sun color, and I wanted to see what basically stands behind it. So this is the intro, guys, and so what I'm considering right now every month to have that as well, or at the very least give it a try for Venus retrograde and see how it goes sign by sign. Okay, so this is enough for the intro, so let's start with reading. I just want to add that this spread is available for private reading, and in that case, like you really know who are the significators, we are going to assign to significators their birth date and their names, and we are going to be able to move forward with extremely specific energy. So for those of you who are wondering if the reunion is going to happen, or what you have to look for, what are the best words to use, etc. This is a great spread. And definitely you can ask when you're ordering that to be included in your reading or to be the feature of your reading, because then I can do it with tarot cards and I can do with Versibila cards, and we can go a few crosses just to make sure that we got all these finesses right. And again, for private reading, check my website, cattarot.ca, and I'm taking bookings right now. You have chunks of 20, 40, or 60 minutes, and I'm looking forward to actually hearing back from you. For now, let me start doing the sample readings so that way you can actually see what to expect. Thanks. I love you guys. Hi, Taurus, and let's see what happens in this kind of weird situation when you're wondering if your ex will return or if you still have a relationship that goes on and off. So, the Magician, let's see basically what was in your tool chest that can actually make it work or that basically needs to be improved on. 9 of Wands. So here we have somebody who kind of is taking a break from the hard work and is willing to continue, even though feeling it's in the final stages. Here is somebody who feels it's a lot of hard work and not sure if they want to kind of finish it, just like want to kind of give up. So it looks like you kind of like had this flavor of, you know, too much to handle. So let's see the Temperance. What could be that it didn't work well? What could be that it didn't go properly? The World. Yeah, you expected really everything from each other or from your partner, and of course they can give it to you. That is kind of like hard expectation. It's like ultimate expectation, or maybe you're expecting a lot more than possible. So we will see how the partner sees you. Well, they'll see you either as somebody who has to make a choice, or they see you as the one they want. So together with this, we are talking about karmic partner here. So we'll see. Communications in the past. This is the past. The first line I'm taking is entirely about the past. So here the communication was somebody called the shots and somebody got injured. We have another repeat of the injury. And yet I have these two people walking away here. Could be three-party relationship, Taurus. Did you have somebody else? Did they have somebody else? Because this is 3 as well. So let's see how your partner seen himself or herself in the past. Well, they seen somebody like as over-emotional. They felt they were overly emotional. And this could also indicate addiction, all kinds of addiction, from having a sex addiction, having drug addiction, having alcohol, working too much, anything you can think of, food. What basically was that came to the surface that was the flavor of your relationship? This means working hard. This means not working hard. So basically your relationship needed work, and somehow the expectation was, well, it just like should flow, and it didn't flow. Let's see about the reunion in the past. Again, being overly emotional. You see, like both of you were in the past not there for the right reasons. So we have now Queen of Cups. So it's somebody overly emotional as well. Somebody who is maybe also very dependent. Somebody who is like who needs to be guided every step of the way, and maybe it was this lack of independence or like codependence in the relationship, because look, they're looking in two different directions, sort of like each of them is their own world and their own expectations. Especially him, he's looking up to you like this kind of goddess, and the world to him, and just you're looking away. Ladies, like, probably there's always guys listening to this, because looks like ladies are like really strong over here. So let's see the present, the toolbox, King of Pentacles. So there you go. You see, the toolbox is like, you, Taurus, you know what you want. You want this reliable king who's going to provide you with luxuries, with good foods, with the best that this planet can offer. But here, it's like somebody who is having a potential, who you think it does have, to give you this world, but it's like really lavish kind of things going out, and you're really not sure if there is substance behind it. So what basically still needs to be repaired in the present? You see, the boundaries. You guys need to establish the boundaries, because in every healthy relationship, like, you cannot go 100%. You have to find what is a no-go, what is a go. And if the other person doesn't want to respect it, it's never going to be a really good thing. And then you're going to end up like something like this. Somebody will feel they're winning, not realizing they're really not winning at all, because look, these other two people are absolutely not really happy. So let's see here what basically how your partner sees you at present. Well, they see you as somebody who is actually not willing to start over. Right? Look at this. We have the similar. We have swords here as well. So this means somebody who can be a little bit kind of overly blunt in communications, who's cutting through it. But this can also mean secrets. This can mean that he sees you, that you haven't communicated very well, or that maybe you purposely said things just to hurt, which kind of like it looks like it was here as well. So communication at present, again, we have a sword. So you guys are becoming sort of like really direct in how you communicate. You are not willing to waste time. It looks like you explain yourself in the past, and now you're tired of going and beating around the bushes and wrapping these things nicely, and you're just simply going to speak up your truth. So how he sees himself in the present. He does see himself as he's willing to try. He wants to go on that journey with you. He does want to, in spite of everything, or maybe because of this communication, that kind of things improve. This looks like setting the boundaries, and you might tell him here, look, you appear to be frivolous, you appear to, have these qualities that I'm not sure that I want. This relationship needs work, and this relationship needs some kind of like deeper involvement. So this shows like shallow involvement, not kind of like lack of information. And as far as reunion, right at present, is not going to be there, because there's still lots of emotions. There's a Queen of Cups, there's Queen of Swords. I don't know if there is a new person showing up. Queen of Cups can represent a new person. So it could be somebody who is just like, or you guys can be talking about a third person too. Even though I have nothing else here that would tell me that was a third party in this relationship. So, but this shows like really big pain. This shows like almost like a pain where you feel you're on your knees, and you don't want to kind of like get up. You really just want to shut down, because the pain is so overwhelming, and like you see no hope. So reunion not going to happen at present, but let's see, because there are lots of communication, and there's obviously will by the side of your partner. So I just want to see why this went so bad. So let's go one more month in the future as far as toolbox. Again, it's this grounding energy. I think you, Taurus, feel that there is not enough substance. And even though you're trying, the balls just fall down. And like, it's just like not what you want. What needs to be done? Again, right? You need to start understanding your partner. This is supposed to be back and forth. And this is the Hangman this way. It's somebody who is basically stuck. But like not stuck in a way to be a super big punishment. Stuck in a way. See, there is a number 4 inversed. Stuck in a way. So now we have in this position that you actually do want to build something, but you still feel constrained. So sort of like the constraint and the boundaries kind of can be conflicting each other, because relationships are not boundaryless. Relationships are full of boundaries, and that's what makes good relationships, knowing how far you can go. And to show that this was not glued, it shows me that one person is really clear on boundaries, that you need to set them up, and the second person isn't. So how he will see you, well, he will see you as someone who's going to be super happy being alone, but for a time being, he also sees that you are going to go for looking for a new relationship, and you're not going to stay single much longer, and that somebody will be really happy to see to be with you. Communications in the future, somebody will feel that they are taken for granted. Somebody will absolutely feel that, options given were not the great options, and there's this feeling, I'm being taken for granted, nothing is good enough. How the partner will see, well, they will come to the table maybe a little bit late. They will see that they have to chase you and wine you and dine you. And this is again going back to what kind of caused problems, that kind of like you didn't really know if that guy's or partner is for real or not. But somebody like, look, you have wands, which is passion, then you have wands again, then you have the King of Cups. It's a lots of indulgence over here with how he's processing his life, and it's a lots of passion. So it's everything is like kind of joie de vivre for this person, right? And for you, you kind of like want this love, and you understand this love is more practical, and you have to establish the boundaries. And what is the ultimate goal of this life? And what I really like about you guys is like you are not compromising. You do know that whatever happens, you have to think through it. You sometimes have to drop the balls, and sometimes you have to be single. So, lessons learned. Another pentacle. So it's a lots of grounding energy, which is your energy. So, but this one is like non-willingness to build. Look, this is like no intuition. So sort of like the read on that relationship is turning cold, right? It's like a cold case. It's like, okay, this relationship was important for me learning about me. I had to learn how to think from and how to see things from different perspective, including your perspective. I have to be able to speak up and to stand for my things, even if it means becoming single. And I have to trust myself that, I'm going to find somebody else. And I have to deal with all these emotions and grin my teeth and go through it. So the future reunion, I'm not so sure. This can mean transformation. This can mean a reunion. You see the yellow in the end, right? The yellow cards are generally the one that are pulling you forward. It's the sky. So let's pull one more line. Let's pull 2 months in the future. And so that way, clear it. Because like, if I had to stop it here, I really would have to say it can go both ways. It could mean that one person wants to stay single, and maybe other person is like willing to charge ahead and kind of like feeling taken for granted, so has like this mixed feelings, right? And so obviously the building of the future exists, but at the same time, if it were to go ahead, it will have to be defined differently, which kind of looks like you guys are defining it already. So let's see one more line. 2 months, how is this evolving? So the tools, there you go. That's a proper communication. So you have a Queen of Swords, King of Swords. So you guys are getting on the same page, or at least you're getting understanding where that other person was coming from, which was requirement. Somewhere like close in the future, we'll start thinking in that kind of like terms. So the glue needed, perfect. The Devil reversed, right? So look how he sees you. He sees you as lovers. Check it out. Lovers is a number 6. 6 is a number of reunions, of transformation, and of choices, right? So these people have a choice if they want to be together, if they want to extend a hand to each other or not. And Angel is saying, I'm going to bless your union. Here in this position, check this out. This is 6 and this is 15. So 10, and 5 is 15, and 1 and 5 is 6. So you see what I mean? Look at the cards. Angel, fallen angel. You feel you have a choice. You feel you do not have a choice. You are chained. But your card turned reversed, which means now that these chains are going to fall down, which means that the door will open, which means that you're going to stop feeling codependent, meaning you will be willing to understand that certain pain is a result of issues that you had in the past, and it's just like for some reason appearing in this relationship. And so maybe this whole idea of this King of Swords coming here as a tools is understanding that, you know, you need to kind of like be honest with yourself, because this is the card of honesty. So how he will see in a couple of months' time? Well, he will see you as a disaster, and that's maybe because you're going to come to your senses over something and literally say, look, it's both cards are black. You see the point I'm making? You have 2 and you have 2 over here, right? So these guys are falling, these guys are falling. So this is not a major disaster as like Tower upright would be. It's sort of like you would feel you just duck it, that you will feel that it was just about to hit you and you just managed to kind of go in the last moment, oh my God, I can't believe it. If I didn't do it, this would have happened. And this is probably why it would happen. It's like, right? So this is that singlehood. You're willing to kind of go on your own, just like not to be in an unhealthy relationship. And this is confirming that you are like actually working on yourself, seeing things from a different perspective, and seeing even your own actions from a different perspective, and even actually wondering, why the heck did I do it? And that this is the honesty with yourself. And that's what you are actually realizing. You know what? It's a good thing that I've seen it, because I'm averting a major disaster. Communications. Yeah, the communication will be painful. So you see, after these cups, going to 3 of Swords, but it will be connected to this past. And it will be about, this can actually mean the third party. Or it could be about something that was coming in the way of 2 of you. In any case, it's about heartache, which you have here as well. And since it's Swords, I'm wondering, going back to past, if it was about something. Well, actually, I did see the third party now when I think about it. I did see the third party here. This can mean a third party now. This could mean a third party. There are 3 here. There are 3 here. 2 here, but like they're falling. Well, for some of you it might be. For some of you it might not be. Because obviously it can be seen both ways. So for some of you who that is a third party, like this whole shakedown is going to be happening in 2 months, and that shakedown is going to be inside of you. This whole structure, you're going to reposition yourself differently, and kind of like you're going to be harsh toward yourself as you would be toward somebody you see walking around clueless in a disaster. So even though this partner here is all kind of flirty and willing to try and everything, for some reason, and this is the part over here that is very hard for me to connect. Because if this person is willing, like I don't see an issue with your partner trying to say no. And what is going on here? It looks like even though you want him to come back, even if he does, it looks like it's going to be just, you want him to say, I want to be back with you. You want this acknowledgement, but you kind of like don't feel that you can be with this person for some reason. This was a heartache all over the place. So how he sees himself, well, he's going to lose hope. He's going to see himself as hopeless, or that he's going to lose hope. So the final basically lessons from this relationship basically is to give and take. That it has to be a balance. And again, I see 3 people here. And maybe to understand, you know, what are the implications of this kind of like arrangement. But basically the message, the original message of this card is that you have to learn how to give and how to be just, and not to give more than you can receive, and not to give as much that the other person would feel it as a burden. So I don't know. Lesson here is like, I mean, I would say balance in the relationship. And it doesn't look like there was balance over here. And lastly, as far as reunion, sorry guys, not going to happen. There's Chariot in reverse. So this way, see, this is basically a person who unites forces. They're like, I mean, white and black sphinx, moving in different direction, but he's somehow managing to get this like chariot and vehicle forward. And it's a kind of a victory. It's just like a victory here. Like victory doesn't exist in relationships. The only victory does exist is within yourself, and it's kind of like sounds to me that you are on this path to kind of like conquer some lessons in your own issues. Like this is codependency, getting out of the codependency, and starting to understand that you actually did it. Starting to understand that you're feeling better, that your self-esteem is going up because of it. Because here there is a transformation, heartache, transformation, and then going away. This is basically going away or not getting together. So I know this is maybe not what you want to hear, but I think working on yourself is a really good thing. And there's going to be lots of that happening with you, Taurus. So please come back to the channel and check out your weekly guidance. Love you and take care.